So a couple of deals got done today for quarterbacks.
Yep.
Russell Wilson going to Denver Broncos in a massive trade, but still waiting on his approval because he has a no trade clause in his contract.
But
And
we
you
know
got
that he's gonna approve it, right? I mean,
right. He's already said that Broncos were one of his preferred landing spots. So
right.
kind of a done deal. And then you have Aaron Rodgers, who said first on the Pat McAfee show that he's going to stay in Green Bay. He's not signed a contract. Reports said it was for 4 years, 200 million, but that's in flux. He says it's more team friendly than that.
Yeah, well, 153 guaranteed.
Right. But
So that doesn't go on the books
right.
if
So
you get
apparently
signing bonus or whatever.
staying in Green Bay.
Yeah.
So these are the huge dominoes that everyone expected to fall. They're done. So then you've got some minor characters still in play, but I just don't think they're going to affect the landscape of as much, right?
Right. Yeah. So it's a big deal that Russell Wilson went to Denver today.
Huge, huge.
So uh, congrats to him. And I wish he would have went to Indy, but that's just selfishness on my part. But they got a load back for him, from what I'm understanding. So
They did. So I mean, they got some ones, some twos. They swapped a 4 and a 5. Some players, So I mean, it's a big deal, and also it makes the AFC West a gauntlet, man.
yeah, crazy great with quarterbacks. So
Yeah, definitely quarterback heavy. We always talked about the AFC North being the bitter, you know, knock each other out and everything. So the West is that now as well, I think.
yeah, and speaking of quarterbacks, the importance of quarterbacks is
Right.
up for debate. Right? So you and I know the importance of. I mean, they're very important, obviously, but I think too much is being made of the importance because if you have a solid defense, I mean, we've seen teams in the past win with solid defenses, solid running game, uh, competent quarterback play.
Right.
Because you have to have that. If you don't have that, then okay. But and we were talking about teams over the last decade that don't have the superstar quarterbacks, although Tom Brady's name comes up a lot.
As one does when we were talking about Super Bowls, yeah.
But I think in general, you look at the Nick Foles,
Eli Manning won.
Eli Manning,
Yeah. Joe Flacco won a Super
Joe
Bowl.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on that year.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, it can happen, and I think sometimes they get too enamored with quarterbacks, and they deserve their money. I'm not saying anything like that. It's just, uh, man, I think some owners get too enamored with it. That's all I'm.
it's the single most important position in team sports, at least here in America, definitely. There's no doubt about it. So you and I are talking about if you could get a known franchise quarterback, what's it worth in picks? And you and I both agree it's worth several number ones. If I could get say a Patrick Mahomes, say it came on the market, he's worth 5 number 1s over the next 5 years and 5 number 2s over the next 5 years.
Yeah,
That's how important it is because that's the piece you're always trying to land, right? That's the piece,
yeah, that's the home run.
right? But the fact is, you and I've talked. Name on one hand the number of quarterbacks who are worth that, and as I've told you, I can name on less than one hand quarterbacks who are worth that, the 5 number ones, the 5 number twos.
Right.
So if you say there's 5 quarterbacks that are so elite that they change your team, and then maybe you have another 4 to 5 that give you really good chances.
Yeah.
You're under 10, okay? Under 10
Yep.
quarterbacks
Yep.
that change your team. So what are the rest of the 22 teams supposed to do? Do they just throw in the towel and give up? I don't think so, man. I think this is where the NFL has lacked in imagination.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to combat this? Well, it's actually cheaper to build a defense,
Right.
you know? And there's several cogs out there that are affordable. They're far cheaper than quarterbacks
Yeah.
that you can go out and get. Build a defense to stop those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go in my mind.
No, I agree with you. I think because we've seen it too many times. Last year, Cincinnati does not go to the Super Bowl if they didn't have a defense that stopped Patrick Mahomes,
Right.
who is one of those quarterbacks that we would trade, 2 number
5.
ones, and
Yeah,
so he'd
absolutely.
be in that category. And too often, we've seen it so many times. Brady in the 2007 season, killing everybody. Who'd they run up against? The Giants.
New York Giants was a spectacular defense.
It was insane. It was amazing. That's probably one of the best defensive performances I've ever seen against. Right. I mean, that's a top offense ever. And
right. It's top flight offense. You have a top flight defense take them down. We've seen defenses power through. 85 Bears obviously come to mind. The 2000 Ravens come to mind. There are these. So I just think that we become so enamored by this top flight quarterback play that we've forgotten there's another side of the ball. People were bitching that the Bills didn't get another possession in overtime. We've seen this before where we didn't get possession. Well, play some damn defense. Play some damn defense. We saw it with Cincinnati beating the Chiefs in the championship game.
Exactly.
By playing defense. Play some damn defense. Quit forgetting about that side of the ball. Yes, everything's geared toward the passing game, obviously.
They get all the awards and accolades. That's fine.
They do.
But they always say defense wins championships. Okay.
It still does.
It still does. But you can win with offense. But it does. Come on. What are we talking about here?
You can win with offense through the regular season. You can.
Yeah.
When it comes to the postseason, it's your defense. Your defense is going to show up. So let's not forget about that side of the ball. Let's not panic because you don't have these top 5 quarterbacks. You can still win. Jim Irsay, our boy, the owner of the Colts, came out with a tweet after the Bills-Chiefs divisional round playoff game and said, well, obviously you need a top flight quarterback to win this league.
Yeah, you need Star Wars numbers, right?
Right. He's not entirely wrong, but he's still kind of wrong. No, you do not need that. You need competency at the quarterback position, and you need to play some defense.
Yeah.
You have to play defense. So, okay, if you're one of the 27 teams who does not have that stellar guy, what are you going to do? Well, Kyle Van Noy was just released by the Patriots. He's still pretty good. Yeah. I'd take this team in a heartbeat. I would go after the Honey Badger. Mm-hmm. I'd go after all these guys. I'd build myself a defense. And let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. And I get it. During the regular season, I'm going to need my quarterback to win me some games. But get me there. Get me there and let my defense shine through when the rules are relaxed and defenses can play I'll take my chances there.
Yeah, so that's another thing that people aren't understanding. Yeah, it's awesome. It's great. And trust me, you want to have Mahomes and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. But in the nitty gritty of the playoffs, where they're allowed to put hands on you, they do not call anything in the playoffs. That's when defenses shine. And as weird as that is, that's just how it is. It's like that in every sport. NBA, the game slows down.
All you got to do is look at the Pistons beating the Lakers. We know defense can win against showy offenses.
Yeah,
we know it.
The game slows down in NBA, NFL, etc. So
every play matters.
Yeah, so it's way different, and they call it different. And as soon as you start understanding that, just get there. You got to have a quarterback that can get you there, though. But just get there.
Yeah. So I think we can agree there's probably outside of the top five, there's probably another tier, another five who have either potential or have shown flashes where they're going to get you through a regular season.
Yeah.
And then there's maybe another two or three that are game managers who can still get you there as long as you play defense through the regular season.
Yeah.
So you don't have to panic because you don't have these guys, right?
True.
I mean, you don't have to panic. You just have to fix everything else.
Yeah.
And by everything else, mostly that's just your defense.
Yeah.
Mostly defense.
Only 5 teams in the NFL can do it. And we've seen from personal experience with a once in a lifetime quarterback that it doesn't really matter. Once you get into the playoffs, he can't win it for you.
No, he cannot.
And I don't care if everybody says Tom Brady, and he's important. I'm not saying he's not the best ever. I'm just saying he cannot win it for you. Guess what happens in his playoff games? His defense steps up and they put a chokehold on it and they help him.
Right.
That's just what happens. So
absolutely. So
it always comes down to that.
I think this is one of the reasons why Rodgers has not been successful in the postseason. Yes, he's an awesome quarterback, one of the best I've ever seen play, no doubt. But once you get to the playoffs, the rules change. They
say they don't, but they do. Yeah.
But they do. So now you've got to put it all on the line, and he's not enough. I mean, he's not enough. You have to have a defense. You have to have special teams and all that stuff. So focus on that, and you still have hope, and you can still beat these teams. You can still beat these teams.
Yeah.
So it all goes back to, we're talking about the Colts because, we lost out on this quarterback lottery that just happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are we going to do? Well, we're probably going to keep Wentz. Probably, maybe restructure his contract so he's not so damn expensive and do a, prove it deal.
Yeah.
And go from there and just try and rethink defense. Give him another receiver, perhaps, but rethink defense. You got a new defensive coordinator. Let's do a different philosophy. Let's attack the quarterback. Let's go there. Things that you didn't do last year. Right. Have a strong running game and attack the quarterback, and let's see what happens from there. Is that good enough to get us into the postseason? And once you get there, play some defense.
And once you get there, who knows? Because anything's possible.
It's defense. It's always defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what the NFL has forgotten. So we should all stop it as fans. Look, 27 of us teams, we don't have that guy. What are you going to do? You going to give up? Nah. Play some defense.
Yeah. And the top 5 aren't going to win it all the time,
Not all of them.
especially if Brady's not in.
Right. He's out. He's out. It's anyone's game.
So, anyway,
I think we're done here, bud.
I think we're done here.